Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Wendy. Today we're talking about, or we're curious about telepathy.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
telepathic? Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. I knew you were going to say that because one of the things that one of the counters to there being actual telepathy is that really people are very skilled at predicting what other people are going to say. Like they have a very, like you just said, I knew you were going to say that and I know why you said that, but people say that all the time, right? It's like we see the patterns very very skillfully, I think.
Gotcha. So you think we're using logic,
For
or
some
just
things, yeah.
understanding, oh, this person is paying attention to what I'm saying,
Yeah,
and therefore I understand where they're going to go next.
exactly.
Logic will tell me
Yeah,
that they're likely going to go here.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's also like when you're working therapeutically with somebody, you you feel when they stop breathing, but it's also a pattern. You know that certain subjects are going to make them stop breathing because they're like PTSD kind of situation, or trauma, or whatever the case may be.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm very sensitive to when people stop breathing, but it also could just be a pattern, that I think I'm really good at patterns. I think I detect when something is off in a situation. Part of being neurodivergent, I suppose, is
Very much so, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I have a similar kind of intense pattern recognition, but it shows up differently, I think, than yours does. Sounds
Oh,
like yours is more like you're having the clairsentience, like you're feeling your client's physicality.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think clairsentience is a big thing for me. It's
Your superpowers.
one of my superpowers. Yes. Exactly. So what's yours? What's your pattern recognition that you have?
I don't even know how to put it into words. I think I'm so like I am constantly paying attention to the environment, and it may be more observational now that I'm thinking about it, where I'm aware of where everything is, how everything sounds, how everything smells, like very
Mm,
sensory.
mm,
And if something is out of sorts,
mm,
even the most minute thing,
mm. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
will be aware of that.
Right.
And then it's kind of an alarm bell of sorts.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
it's funny. I was thinking about that exact thing. I have that too. And if somebody's lying, alarm bells go off like 1,000%. Because I recognize something in the pattern is wrong. Like I know it, and then for me, that's danger. If you're lying, it's
Hmm.
dangerous. And so that's a big one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting that you have that.
Yeah. I do it with vehicles. I was washing dishes 2 days ago, and I heard this deep rumbling sound coming from somewhere in the house as I was running the hot water,
Uh-huh.
and it was super subtle.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the basement and I listened, and sure enough, I could hear we have an on-demand hot water heater, and it was running louder than usual. But I
Ha!
could hear it all the way from the other side of the
Wow.
house
Wow.
over to where I was running the water.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, that's like, uh-oh, it's not happy. What is the hot water heater trying to tell us?
Yeah, usually something bad that's going to involve money.
And no hot water.
And no hot water.
So fucking spoiled. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is one of the great luxuries, is having running hot water, really, if you think about it. If the world goes to shit, which would never happen, the loss of hot water would be, to me, like, oh, that would be terrible.
You just have to move to Colorado and get some hot
Hot
springs.
springs, yeah,
Yeah, because that's pretty.
with a bunch of other people.
Well, a few people might think of that, but yeah.
Anyway, got off topic. Sorry, but yeah, that's the kind of nature of my pattern recognition. I think, I mean, when I'm working with people, it's a little different. I guess I have the visuals with information that maybe will drop into my head,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
and then
yeah,
and it's maybe in conflict with what they're saying,
yeah.
and then it's about presenting that information in a way that isn't unsettling or disruptive.
To them.
Yeah. So yeah, more as a curiosity.
Yeah, yeah. Pretending like
Yeah.
I was just thinking, me, what about that? The directed, the direction
Yeah.
we take these things. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, I get that too. I had because everything in my mind is a picture. So when they're telling, it's like I'm watching a movie, and if there's something wrong with the movie, I get like a intuition on that. Same deal, and I'll ask them. So, what about that part of the thing?
Yeah. Very helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very helpful. Very helpful. Yeah, it's so weird to me that some people don't experience visuals, that like their brain doesn't like for me everything is a picture that's going on in my mind. And some people have zero pictures going on in their mind.
Right. What do you think that's about? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think everyone is capable of having pictures or clairvoyance?
Apparently not. Apparently some people can't. It's called aphantasia.
Huh. So there's actual disordered.
Yeah, well, there's a
Of dis-
spectrum. There's aphantasia and then there's hyperphantasia. And I think I'm hyperphantasia. It's just
okay.
all pictures. And then some people can't journey. Have you found that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm wondering if, okay, if what you're talking about, and this is just again a curiosity, if we're talking about two different things, maybe if one is, and I never thought about this before, so I'm just kind of playing with this idea right now. If there is in my non-scientific brain, if there's a mechanism within our brains that allows us to create internal pictures versus true clairvoyance, where the pictures are not a byproduct of your brain. You're just perceiving something that's outside of your brain. The
You're
brain has
talking about
nothing to do with it. So psychic abilities
psychic ability. Yeah.
versus your brain's ability to conjure pictures, imaginations, visualizations.
Yeah. I think they're tied together for sure, but I don't know. When I was thinking about this subject earlier today, I was remembering I had a EEG. A friend of mine was doing experimentation with an EEG machine that was hooked up to you while you were journeying, and she had
Okay.
six different people and did six different readings to see if they were all the same, if they were different, what's your baseline, where does your brain go when you're journeying. And it was a pretty interesting revelation. Everybody's brainwaves changed, of course, because you're going from beta to alpha to theta. You're moving in these different brainwave patterns, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's changes when they're in that more meditative state of consciousness. However, my brain did something really unusual, which I've been intrigued about, and ever since. This was many, many, many years ago. And it's that my amplitude, my electrical, so this machine registers your electricity in your brain, and my amplitude, my width was way bigger than most people's.
Okay.
When I was journeying, like theirs was sort of here, and mine was huge.
Almost double that, yeah.
Yeah, almost double that. And she was like, "Oh my God, you have such amplitude." And I was like, I don't know.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you. It's like the snowboarders, they have amplitude in their jumping. Anyway, I found that to be very intriguing. And if one had endless time and endless money, it would be interesting to experiment with that. When visualizing certain things, like what happened to your brain waves when you detected the sound variable in the pattern of sound that's normally in.
No, great question. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to know. It would be so interesting to see people who are neurodivergent or hypersensitive or any of those things. It would be great to see what happens in your brain. Anyway.
Did this woman explain what the greater amplitude was, I guess, demonstrating for you?
Yeah, we all speculated because there was no answer to the question.
Okay.
It's not like there had been previous studies on people journeying. And, I think since then there have been other studies, and I don't know what the results are with that. But everybody seemed to regard it as a good thing as opposed to like, uh-oh.
Well, it's cool to be unique.
Well, it might have meant I had a brain tumor. We didn't really know what, given that it was like 20 years ago and I'm still alive, I'm assuming it doesn't mean I have a brain tumor.
No, your brain is just operating because it's measuring brain waves, as you said, electrical activity, right? And I don't know which wave was showing that amplitude of the 5 waves that they're measuring now, but that would be an important piece of information too, because my understanding, right, is at any given time, one brain wave is dominant in your...
Right.
But all of them are running simultaneously. There's just one that's dominant depending on where you're focusing your attention.
And your intention and the sound of the drum, which alters your level of consciousness.
Right.
I mean, there's so many important pieces to it, like it would be amazing to do a longer study. Maybe they've been done since then.
There have been some done. I know Hank was part of a study where they measured his brain waves, and they were, I guess, surprised at how quickly he got into gamma, I think, that was his dominant brainwave very quickly.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. That's super interesting.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think.
Was Hank a kind of more visual / intuitive psychic guy?
I think definitely visual. I mean, his visionary experiences were epic. He wrote those books about them. They were epic. Yeah. But the details of them, how he was perceiving, I never asked him about that. Yeah. It would have been a great conversation to have, but I never had the chance to ask him, like, how is it that he's perceiving?
Yeah, yeah. I think it would have been if I had that testing done now, I would have way more questions about the meaning of it all. Like I don't think I really even understood at the time what I don't know if I even understand now. What is amplitude? Is it, we all regarded it as good, but
yeah, I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, which brainwave was the one that was showing, that was demonstrating that?
I'm so curious about that.
Yeah.
I really want to know.
Telepathy, though, what's your definition of it?
I don't think it's like one thing, I think, okay. My feeling about it is that, and that's not very scientific, I know, but my feeling is that consciousness exists outside of our brain. I think it's more connected to our heart soul area. And I think by being able to connect, and so consciousness in my perception is everything. It's just like all the stuff exists in that big realm of consciousness. And that we some people more than others, some people amazingly can connect with that thing. Does it hold various timelines? I think so. Does it hold like all the perspectives? I think so. And so when we're able to, telepathy is, and I don't think it's just one thing. Like that uncle of mine who was a spiritualist in England, he did trance channeling. Hypothetically, he was connecting with beings that had passed. That's what the spiritualists were about.
Right. Yeah, like mediumship. Yeah.
Mediumship, trance mediumship, connecting to past beings. So I think if you asked him, he would feel that his capacity to leave his consciousness, or not his consciousness, to leave his brain and to move into this extra dimensional consciousness and connect with beings who have passed, who, from his perspective, exist in a realm, in the, like, we're here and then we go back to the big soup, I think
Okay.
that's what he would say. So I think that's one kind of telepathic.
How was he communicating with them? How was he perceiving those communications? Was it telepathic, or was it visual, or do you see that all under the same umbrella?
No, I don't see it under the same umbrella, but I think it has a lot of different prongs, on the thing. Like, because he was in a trance and did not remember what he said after. Mm-hmm. I mean, what kind of brain waves was he in? That would strike me as more in the gamma realm.
Right. Is that telepathy, though? I don't know. Is trance mediumship telepathy?
I think so. No, I think of it all in one big box.
Well, because I don't know. I mean,
what do you think telepathy?
I don't know. I think maybe I'm being too simplistic, but I always assumed it was thought transference. You have a chunk of information that is now in your mind that came from
another mind,
another being, another. Yeah, I guess mind is a very human word, but
another being.
Yeah. So it's like you didn't have the information and bink, there it is. You now have this information. It is not generated from your brain parts, and it's all in one chunk. It's just an understanding, like you
download.
have. Yeah, like reading someone's mind, reading someone's thoughts. I think that's the traditional way of looking at telepathy, right? Is that I can read your thoughts, which is kind of where we started the conversation, joking around.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
But the classic example currently is the telepathy tapes.
Yeah, exactly.
With the nonverbal autistic children and adults who are demonstrating, it seems to me like valid examples of telepathy where they are reading minds. And because most of them have apraxia, so they don't have control of their bodies. And so they've found these alternative ways to get by and communicate. Yeah.
Okay, what about... So when we journey, we connect with all kinds of beings. We connect with spirit guides and other dimensional beings from the Pleiades. We connect with like all kinds of stuff, right? And
exactly,
we get information from them.
Right. So maybe there's two different types. There's like human to human telepathy. That's a possibility. And then human to non-human telepathy.
I think so. I think it's all, and even, like what my uncle did, communicating with beings that used to be beings.
But he was not aware. That's the part that makes me wonder, would that officially be telepathy then?
Officially. I don't think there's an officially.
Well, I don't know. It probably depends on who you talk to. Yeah. But
most
Would he
people,
have to be an active participant, have an awareness of like, oh, I have now received this information from this other being. I am going to share this information rather than being completely checked out, unaware. I guess the awareness piece is the question mark I have. Maybe, I don't know,
I don't know. I mean,
could be. Who's the expert on telepathy? Why
maybe
don't you use telepathy right now? Connect with him and ask his ass what he would say about that, your uncle.
you want me to connect with him
Yeah,
right?
right now. No pressure. Just right now.
I communicate with him a lot, actually, so it's not that far away, but okay, hold on. His what I felt him say, but I would not sign a document on it yet because it's a little spontaneous, is that he said it's all telepathy. You know what? I have to report back on this.
Okay.
I feel like I should.
Well, I didn't know you were actually going to try it. I was just,
Oh, did you just tell me to? I'll do
yeah,
whatever.
well, if she does it, that's cool. All right. But I didn't want you to feel like you're on the spot because you're not my monkey.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. You're not my monkey.
Well, I thought, why not? Why not just
Yeah.
because he's one of my middle world guides. I do. He's actually he's kind of like, when you're doing middle world work and you feel like you may have connected with something that's a little less than excellent. He's my cleanup crew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a phoenix and him, and they clean me up of anything that might be middle world.
It's very handy. Yeah.
It's very handy. Yeah. And he's actually, I've introduced him to other clients of mine, and he appears in their
He works for them too. Yeah.
works for them too.
Yeah. He's got a whole cleaning company
He
in the spirit world
just comes with his bucket. Yeah, exactly. A little van with
Yeah.
the side. Yeah, exactly.
With a phoenix on the side. Yeah. That's the,
Yeah, that's nice. It's really nice. Funnily enough, I can imagine him laughing his ass off about this conversation. Anyway, I don't know. I think of it as one big soup, and
gotcha.
various.
Well, I can put things in categories. So that's a fault I have. And so I might be just trying to do that with telepathy as well. Just trying to pigeonhole it into like thought transference specifically. And that the person receiving the thought probably should be aware of it. But in the case of trance mediumship, perhaps not.
Perhaps not. I've had times in my life where, so my capacity to read minds or know things from people, there was a period of time when it was just kind of too much. I would just like pass somebody on the street and I would get this like download of information about them, and it felt very invasive. They weren't asking for it. I wasn't asking for it.
Right, yeah.
Like bang. So I did some work on it myself, and I realized that I think of it now as dimmer switches, And when I want the dimmer switches low, I can bring them low. When I'm working, they're high, and like if I'm in Times Square, for example.
Very low.
Like shut them off. There's so much energy there. There's so much stuff going on there, and I can't deal with it. I become, And the thing is too, like telepathically, sensitivity is a big part of it, and we're all sensitive in different ways, like the smell of someone and the information we get about that. And I don't know. I don't
Yeah, on
think
such
that,
subtle levels a lot of time too, because a lot of it, like pheromones, we're not really consciously aware of that, but they're
yeah,
having an effect on our chemistry.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think you're right. That's a great point. We're processing a shit ton of information all the time.
A shit ton
And
all
the
the time.
and the tricky part for us modern Western humans is that I would say most of our interior worlds are dominated by our minds, our thoughts,
Yeah,
and it makes for a very noisy interior world, which
yeah,
makes it really hard to pick up all
yeah,
of this other information that could actually make life a lot easier.
yeah,
The
yeah.
shortcuts of those psychic perceptions, right?
Totally, totally.
Instead, our brains want to just get in the middle of it all and organize everything and then want to understand it and come up with a plan and then come up with a different plan because the first plan sucked. And that's because so and so gave me bad information. And I need to understand why that person did that. So then you go off on that tangent
Yeah,
and then you get pissed at them. Then
yeah.
you have a whole dialogue in your head about what you really wanted to say to them. You get my point.
I do.
That's the shit we do.
That's the shit we do. And, like think about communicating with plants. Like now they're doing all kinds of information about plant communication. I've been communicating with plants since I started shamanically working. They communicate. You can hear them. They communicate. Plants, trees, the earth, like all of it communicates. I mean, that's telepathy, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
In
Yeah.
your category, but they're not people.
But they're beings.
They're beings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're beings.
Yeah. So you have to be in a, an open state to be able to receive that information.
Exactly.
And I think that's the key to all of this stuff, right? In talking about getting back to brainwaves, right? Any of us can perceive. It just depends on where you point your focus.
Yeah.
Most of us are pointing our focus in the physical world, so we're just perceiving
Yeah.
the material reality,
Yeah.
alleged material reality. I mean, who knows if it's real or not, right? But it feels like it is, so we're focused on that
Yeah.
and missing a lot of, like, if you focus, so that's alpha.
Isn't it the other? I thought beta was the regular information processing. And
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I flipped that.
yeah.
Beta is the
Yeah.
everyday aware, awake. That's right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
And then alpha, then
And then
theta.
alpha's
Yeah.
the light meditative state.
Yeah.
And then theta is, yeah, the creative visionary state
Yeah.
if you're awake and dreaming when you're asleep.
Exactly. And then
Delta
gamma,
is
like,
Delta's very deep, relaxed, restorative sleep.
yeah. Well, I mean, right. We're most of what we talk about is different angles on things, and you and I have given a lot of thought to a lot of speculative explorers.
And bullshit artists. Yes, exactly.
We're not bullshit artists. Yeah, but I don't think we bullshit. I don't. I think we, like I said, we're navigators, we try and figure out stuff by putting the pieces together. And like there's only, how, like if we go back to my vision of consciousness as this big, endless, everything everywhere all at once place, or not place, but realm. It's not, I mean, it's not bullshit. It's just like, what's this? What is that? The first time you meet another dimensional being from another level of reality in your journey, it's pretty shocking. I mean, for me, when I started journeying, it never occurred to me that would happen. And then maybe a year or 2 years into it, another dimensional being came. and
Yeah.
and like from another reality, and I was like, whoa. And they have proven to be the most intelligent beings that I communicate with.
Right. And that's your direct experience, which
Yes.
it's such a personal, intimate thing. Like, I did not meet your interdimensional beings, but you did, and you have a relationship with them, right? And I've had my experiences, which,
With other dimensional beings?
well, I'm assuming they're in other dimensions, but I don't know what to call. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're helpers. I don't know. I just refer to them as helpers,
Helpers. Yeah.
allies, or whatever. Invisible friends, mostly,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and not imaginary friends,
No.
invisible friends.
Who might
That's
be who might be actually the same, but that's another story.
yeah. I don't know. So how we interpret those experiences is an intimate thing for us to figure out,
Yeah.
and no one can take it away from you. That's the cool thing. But when you
No.
start talking about it out loud to other people, like we're doing right now, we're sharing our experiences with each other, it takes on a different dimension
Yeah.
because now it's like exposing this non-physical stuff that can't be proven.
The way I have found it to be quite proven is that I've been told things where I thought, what is that? And then I research after, and there's actually scientific evidence of the thing that was told to me.
Right.
And I was not like Miss Science in school. I was virtually asleep during most of science, and which I
Like, where
would.
did I get that information?
Where did that information come from?
I think you shared one of those stories in a previous one of our
Oh,
conversations.
did I? I don't remember.
Yeah, you did. And you got information in one of these journey experiences and looked it up, and it was like, sure enough, that is a thing.
Yeah. Oh, like I
And
think was it the story of dark matter? Because that was pretty mind blowing for me. The question
it
of
may have been, yeah. Let's
yeah,
forgive
yeah,
my postmenopausal brain and
yeah,
its crappy memory.
yeah, mine too. But dark matter was certainly something where that happened, and now there's so much information about that. And at the time, like I literally had never heard of that.
Right. But that's what helps, I think, each individual feel vindicated in a way when
Yeah,
they have an
exactly.
experience is when you have it validated in physical reality, like,
Yeah,
holy shit, yeah. No,
yeah,
I've certainly had some experiences like that too that were like, no shit,
yeah, yeah,
that's real?
yeah, yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's so rich, it's so rich. And you talk about like our brains being caught in this like horrifically detailed realm of
Insanity.
insanity in fucking sanity for sure. I guess it's functional, but boy, oh boy. I mean, look what the world is doing now. Anyway, let's not go down that path, Sarah. We
Yeah.
forgot about that.
But it points out, I don't know if you feel this way, but what it points out to me is that what we humans are accessing is probably just a minute tip
So
the
minute.
of the reality iceberg. It's like
Yeah.
there's I can't even begin to fathom. And I've had some really cool experiences over the years, but I can't begin to fathom how expansive and extraordinary the possibilities are beyond our physical experience here. I
Right.
mean, it's just, yeah, the whole orchestration of all of it is mind baffling. I don't think my wee brain could even begin to comprehend, or it will want to categorize and it wouldn't be able to,
Exactly. Exactly.
what the truth is about how reality actually works.
And, like my perception of consciousness and, is everything everywhere all at once. It's how does our mind comprehend that? We can't even, like you said, teeny you know?
Yeah, and so we have these brainwaves that, depending on where you point your focus, helps you focus on one aspect of reality.
Exactly.
And it's such a small aspect. So, like, to access the psychic realm, you have to be able to get into alpha, to be able to access your interior world, and then be open to perceiving.
Yes, exactly.
But then your brain wants to kick in and start analyzing it and making assumptions about it and understanding it. And maybe that's the design, is that we're not supposed to be here to be that kind of open. Or maybe the goal is to try to be more open, to get past ourselves. Maybe it's just the modern human that's gotten off the path of living that way,
Well,
a less mental way.
Yeah, I think we have been more telepathic, more open in I don't know when, but
Well, pre-language for sure. We had to have been.
pre-language, exactly. Pre-language must have been such a trip because you had to be able to like communicate, like, let's go get the woolly mammoth, you know, like, or whatever was going on then. And I've met other beings in my journeys who were not verbal, who were just completely telepathic. I mean, they're all telepathic in the sense that you're not having a conversation with them.
Their mouths are not moving. Yeah.
Their mouths are not moving, but you're having a conversation in your mind. So that's actually telepathic.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would, by definition, call telepathy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the human-to-human telepathy is probably a possibility all the time. It's just a skill that you have to learn, or some people have it naturally. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think people who come from traumatic childhoods, who become hypervigilant people, often slide a little more easily into the realms of telepathy because they've been constantly, like, their awareness field has been bigger.
Oh, yeah, I guess for survival reasons, it's like, I got to really know what's going on.
Yeah, because it's dangerous.
Exactly, yeah. No, I've seen that in some clients as well.
Yeah. I mean, for myself, absolutely true. I was just hyper vigilant, always watching. Where's this going? What's the danger?
Yeah.
And there is a certain kind of telepathic connections that start to form in that, you know, like knowing without knowing, without, you know.
Very handy, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, very handy.
How cool that you just sort of like instinctively went in that direction.
But people,
without intending to.
You know, I work with a lot of writers and actors, etc. And actors get such a bad rap, but they're really highly sensitive people. And I find often those people, writers, actors, etc., that are in Hollywood are people that have had traumatic childhoods for one reason or another, and who have become hypervigilant. And it makes perfect sense. You know, if you're going to be writing characters,
it kind of does, yeah.
How do you know all this stuff about people? You know, it's you've been clocking it, you know, as you've gone along in your childhood.
Are you talking about a deep kind of empathy too? Like they have to be able to, okay, yeah.
Yeah, deep empathy, deep understanding, like a lot of the stuff, you know, actors, it's so terrible because often these people are highly, highly sensitive, highly intuitive, and then they're flung into this world of just really bad. You know?
You're talking about the industry itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a little dip into that when I lived in LA, and I could see what you're talking about. It's ugly.
It's really ugly. And I don't even mean like ugly like Harvey Weinstein ugly. I mean ugly like everyday ugly.
Yeah, yeah. No, there is the Harvey Weinstein ugliness, the big secret that nobody ever talked about. But then there's just the way the industry works. Yeah.
You're just doing auditions and then you
Hmm.
don't even get a call to say you didn't get the job. You just like, well, I guess I didn't get the job,
Yeah. You left hanging.
left hanging, the rejection you feel, all the
Hmm.
stuff, And so anyway, I mean, I don't mean to get carried away with what happens in Los Angeles, but I think I think highly sensitive people who are very skilled at knowing, reading, seeing, like these are I think it cracks the daily brain that you're talking about, it gets broken a little bit, but then it's a good thing in a way.
Yeah. Well, it makes them really good at their work, right? I mean, makes them capable of stepping into a completely different character.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know that I think we've asked so many questions that we haven't really answered.
Well, can we answer these questions? I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't feel like I haven't really thought about telepathy a lot. So I don't know if I had anything really constructive to contribute to our conversation other than just questions and thoughts I had or my ideas of what I thought it was. But it's fun to contemplate.
Yeah, it's really fun to contemplate. And, we didn't even talk about the spectrum, the autism spectrum, that those tapes are made about. And I mean, that's so interesting.
It's very telling, and I think it's amazing that there's attention being pointed in this direction.
Yeah, super interesting. And not all autistic kids have that capability either. It's not like
It depends on who you talk to. I just listened to an episode this morning, the most recent one, where the nonverbal autistic adult man was asked that question, do all nonverbal autistic children have that capacity? And he said, yes, they can all be telepathic.
But isn't that
And
true of everybody, really?
yeah, but I think I thought that's what you were just saying, that I don't think everyone can,
Yeah.
unless I misunderstood you. Yeah.
No, I probably said two contradictory things. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I worked with autistic kids for a couple of years in my first jobs right out of college.
No
And
kidding, huh?
no, and it was in an institution, a residential treatment program for these kids. And wow, I think about them and what would it have been if these kinds of ideas would have
Exactly. Yeah.
happened? Because these kids were like
Just lost.
so lost,
They
so
slipped
lost.
through giant cracks, crevices,
Yeah,
and all of that just, yeah, because my understanding of apraxia is that their brains are functioning just fine. They just don't connect with their bodies. And they
unbelievable.
cannot operate their mouths to speak, or they can't operate their limbs, or depending on how it manifests in each person. I'm not an expert, but it's, yeah. And the more they're able to communicate what they're actually experiencing, the more heartbreaking it is to know that so many, for how many decades,
Yeah,
well, have gone like just as prisoners, just lived as prisoners in their own bodies. They were in their own world.
yeah, yeah. I wish I had been more aware of all of these things when I worked with them.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
I could have experimented. At the time, the big thing was diet, that they had food sensitivities, gave them better food, and no nuts, no this, no that. Didn't do any good whatsoever, as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
where
clearly, I mean, progress wasn't made
progress was not made.
until they were able to find a way to communicate, and then even then there was controversy around it.
Yeah,
But now they're getting over that, it sounds like.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so our time has closed on it.
Yeah.
But
Well, just keep bullshitting.
we will. And we'll see where we end up. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like this topic is maybe not finished. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it'll probably be interwoven into other
Yeah.
conversations. I mean, because we're doing that all the time. We're
Yeah.
talking about all these different things that we've kind of touched on, and we come back and forth, and which makes it fun. I think it makes it more fun.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to accomplish anything specific in each conversation other than exploring.
Thank God.
Yeah. No pressure.
No pressure. All right, honey.
I will see you next time.
Next time. Bye.
Mwah.